Nice.
Home?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the back deck.
Are you making Jordy do workouts in the back, or is he out being a kid?
He's being a kid right now. He has team workouts in a little bit here.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
Yeah, he got the official up to JV discussion from the head boss, so he's excited.
Yeah, because he's a stud. Because he's bigger than I'll ever be, and I'm jealous of him.
He went and worked out with some of our guys the other day.
Be careful
And,
what I'm recording, so be careful what you say.
oh, he's just working out with them. I'm
Okay.
not saying anything. I wasn't there. I was in the feast. They were outside.
Yeah.
I'm
How,
very removed from it right now. I'm very happy.
how's he been? Because this is his first like real summer lifting weights, right?
Yeah.
How
So
how's it been going for him?
he came home a couple weeks ago, and like we didn't let him do anything in middle school. Like we're just, hey,
Yeah.
be a kid and go run around and play sports and have fun. He comes home a couple weeks ago. He goes, I straight bar deadlifted, Dad, and I'm like, oh, really? And he goes, yes. What'd you do? He goes, I did 315. It was really easy. I could have kept going. I'm like, oh my god.
That hurts. That hurts my back just thinking about that. Like, and is probably doing it with with ease, just hefting it up.
Oh, he said it was like nothing. He goes, I could have done it like 3 or 4 more times at least.
What a stud.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? So,
You're gonna wake up one day and he's gonna be 6'4", 290, and your food bill is gonna be three times more than it already is.
oh my god, I don't even make me think about that. It's already brutal.
Yeah,
It's he's massive already.
it's awesome. You love it. It's great.
I do. It's fantastic.
Well, and you get the good part about it is you're not, like you said, you're not forcing them to do stuff. Like there's plenty of parents who are like, go lift when you're 10 and you aren't doing any of that stuff.
No, we let him. He chose to do all this, and
Yeah.
he goes to every high school workout, and that's why I told him he needed to do it. He went to one camp, and it was ours, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, that's good. Let him be a kid. Um,
exactly.
well, so welcome back. So again, this is the beauty of I get to run my podcast. So I get repeat guests. So we got Coach Mike DuFrane back. I think you're in rare company now with my dad, my friend Derek Doherty and Coach Frana. So I think you guys are the only ones who've been repeats.
I feel honored right now.
You should be. And this actually is you reached out to me because you want to we got a couple topics to talk about, but we're gonna skip some of the normal stuff. So I'm not gonna give you, we're not gonna talk about uh the typical things. It's been a while since I've had you on, so obviously now you're the defensive coordinator at Northern Michigan.
Yep.
Um I want to know about, and I want the listeners want to know about, talk to me about preparing week by week in the GLIAC. Like one of the obviously, if people pay attention to D2 football, Ferris State, Saginaw Valley, Grand Valley. So one of the, if not the best D2 conference in the nation. Talk to me about just preparing week by week for that.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the best competition, some of the best coaches that you're going to see. I mean, we've had guys that have left this conference. I'm going in year 3 in the league now, and we've had guys leave and go play in the SEC. We
Hmm.
have guys that are leaving and playing in the Big Ten. So this is some of the most competitive football, and the coaching and the looks that we get. And I mean, you mentioned Ferris right away. Obviously, they've done some really special things, but
Hmm.
what people don't realize is the looks and the motions and the different things that they give you because of their talent, but also because just they're coached extremely well.
Right.
And you're dealing with offensive line. And like I'm saying, we're not transferring skill kids out. They're transferring offensive linemen that are going to the Big Ten, going to the SEC, going to the Big 12, and they're playing football. So
Right. And
you
they're
look at,
playing right away. They're not, it's not like they're going there
oh,
and sitting a year. They're going on the field now.
yeah, they're walking in, and when you go out and you look at it, it's like holy cow! Like every week, it's a new challenge. I think as a coach, man, it's helped me grow, and it was my first experience in NCAA scholarship football here as
Hmm.
a coach, and obviously there's been growing pains for us, but man, no better challenge than the first time you're walking into it than walking into that freaking fire we've been in.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't think people realize like just the amount of talent in the league. I mean, you mentioned Ferris. I think they had what, four guys, four offensive linemen just transferred out and all went big,
Somewhere
like
big.
bigger, like not just big, not just like they're going to like I don't, this isn't a knock, but not they're going to like Eastern Michigan. They're going to like Michigan. They're going to,
They're going Power Four, man. Like
right,
it's and it's a testament to the coaches there. It's a testament to the league. It's a testament to the competition. Like you can't downplay it at all. It's pretty incredible that we have the opportunity to play these guys every single week. Like I,
right,
some guys would get nervous about it, and yeah, hell yeah, like walking out there Saturday, I'm pretty nervous, or watching film, I'm pretty nervous. But you get to walk out and you think, man, we get to play the team that defended the national championship. We'll end up playing five teams that are top 25 teams, if not more, every single
right,
year, which is
right.
it to me. That's an opportunity.
Well, like, like you said, it's, first of all, if you go out there scared, if you show as a coach, and coaches know this and you know this, if you go out there and you show that you're scared, your kids are gonna
Oh,
crap
they
their bed.
feed right away. They feed right away.
Right.
Yeah.
And they already have their own fears and you know, um inadequacies they're worried about as they go into those games anyways. They don't want to look at their coach and think, "Oh gosh, he's, he's
Oh, he's
crapping
nervous.
his
Yeah.
yeah." So, um oh no, it's amazing to me to watch just that conference from afar a little bit because like you said, I mean, Ferris and Grand Valley are going to be two of the final eight,
Hmm.
like no matter what, and there's always another team that could sneak up or sneak in, and um so I think it's yeah, people listeners, if you don't know anything about the GLIAC, go check it out because it's a buzzsaw.
Well, it's a region that we're in too
Yeah,
for playoff wise. The region the NCAA has, and you add in Harding and you add in all those schools, and I mean the last however many national championships came out of this region.
right.
So it's not like it's just the GLIAC either. We get to the playoffs and they're going to seed Ferris and Grand Valley together in the first round, and that very well could be a national title game if they're on opposite ends of the bracket from each
No
other.
doubt. Didn't Harding and Grand Valley play in like the second round this year?
Yeah, in a
It-
snowstorm, and it was one of the cool, like running the football type of guy. Like
yeah.
that was an incredible game to watch. It was physical. It was in like I want to say there's darn near a foot of snow on the field. Like
Oh gosh.
it was incredible. Like old school. Like I want to watch somebody beat the crap out of somebody football. Made my heart flutter a little bit and feel
Yeah,
good.
right. That's a lineman's an offensive and defensive line coach's dream right there to watch a
A
game
hundred
like that.
percent.
Yeah. So let's get down to it because this is kind of what you reached out and wanted to kind of talk about. So I've had coaches on the pod before who have been a part of starting up programs. You were unfortunately, and I don't want to ever take anything away from what you've done, but you were unfortunately part of the dismantling of a program, and not only a program, but the entire university
Yeah.
is no more. Not even, I mean, I don't even know what, like, if you Google Finlandia, does it just take you to like bring you back to Yahoo or something? Is it a dead website now?
It takes you to all the articles about how it shut
Okay,
down and
okay,
all the articles that came out after
yeah.
it closed about everything. So
So what we're talking about is Finlandia University, and you, to your credit, you helped. You were busting your butt. Like I know you, and coaches around that know you know what kind of guy you are, and you were busting your butt. And I want to say you had the roster up in like the 80s, so you were doing your part. But unfortunately, it's that in the time after COVID, it's hard. There's a far more colleges and programs shutting down. So I guess just kind of talk me through kind of that whole process, and like when you started to kind of hear rumors, and just kind of walk me through everything, and we'll kind of just I just want to know kind of from your perspective how it all went down.
yeah, I mean, I went into it knowing what it was. Like
Yeah,
I knew it was going to be a challenge. I knew that we were going to have to work and take some lumps and really do our due diligence to do it the right way.
yeah,
And I thought we were doing that. If we would have had year 3 with our staff, you said it, we would have been over 80 kids on the roster with 22 juniors and no seniors.
right.
So we literally went through the guys we had, and we worked ourselves into a point where we felt like we were in a good spot. And it was really after the season and really during the season in 2022 where I
Hmm.
kind of was figuring it out.
Okay.
Like what people don't realize is we didn't have an athletic trainer until the first football game. So to cover it liability wise, yeah, they had an EMT there. But we traveled to our first football game, our first away game, and our trainer couldn't go because we only had one for the school. So
Yeah.
they had to hire somebody to show up. Well, our kids don't trust a random guy showing up off the street
No.
to tape them. So I was taping ankles, and it was against Iowa Wesleyan, who closed down the same year with us.
Right.
So I was taping ankles and getting things ready, and the old head coach up there, I knew him pretty well from coaching against him, and they had to come get me, and I wasn't even dressed for the game. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, sweating. It was hot and rainy that day,
Yeah.
and I was taping ankles, and they had to come get me to talk to the refs. And then the other team's head coach jumps up and he goes, "Man, I was at whatever school they were at last week, and their coordinators were setting up the field." And I'm like, "Man, I would take that right now for
Oh,
sure."
yeah, that's much better than taping ankles.
Yeah. So I mean, and it was, and to get to that point, even, I mean, we showed up and there was only 8 kids left on the team the day we walked in the door in March of 21.
Right.
And we got it up to just over 60 for year one. We were hovering right around 70 in year two, and then 80 for year three. So we were in a good spot. It was just the school was faltering, and
Right.
no matter what we did, it was throwing a band-aid on a dam with a hole in it, and
Right.
there wasn't anything else we could do to get it done. But the stuff behind the scenes, and the guys that I had coaching with me, and Joby Sull, I know you've met Joby
Hmm.
at the convention with us. Joby was our offensive coordinator. He's the offensive coordinator at Kentucky Christian now. Like, the guy, our first year, hopped in a van because there was tornadoes that canceled flights, and he drove down to Green Bay and helped reroute kids' flights to Green Bay and drove them up to our school to help pick them up. Like,
Right.
and it was just absolute chaos trying to get kids in and trying to get kids signed up. And but we did our best and we tried, but it was, yeah, during the season and the budget cuts. I mean, I started with a budget and ended up with $20,000 to $30,000 less
Right.
than we did. And I was trying to be the diligent head coach my first season and come in under budget, and I did, and I felt really good about it, and ended up not mattering at all. So,
Right. Yeah.
so I mean, it was a lot of factors, and don't get me wrong, there was a ton of really good people there that
Yeah.
worked really hard, and really, like, if they had had the financial backing and been able to do what they wanted to do with the school, with the facilities, the upgrades that they had proposed for the football facilities, that place would have been a diamond in the rough for a kid who enjoys going outdoors and being in the UP type of atmosphere. The
Hmm.
school wasn't, I mean, now I say this tongue in cheek, right? It wasn't overly expensive, but probably should have been a little more expensive from the sounds of it. But it was just, it was a lot of factors, and I knew kind of during the season, and luckily I got out before it closed.
Right.
So Coach Rich we had exchanged an email, and then he reached out to me, and it was funny because I hadn't filled out the application, and I didn't know it was closing. I didn't really know much about it, and he called me at like 10 minutes before it was going to close, and I was in bed, and
Yeah.
I ran downstairs in like my underwear and applied in my underwear, and then about a week later, I'm on campus and the defensive coordinator at Northern Michigan. So
Right.
it worked out well, but I mean, it was chaos while we were there, and it was a lot of hard work. And I'm happy to say that my guys that were all on staff, they all have jobs, they all
Right.
coach still, they all are still a part of the game. So everybody got to stick with it and keep doing their thing. But it could have went a lot of other ways than it did. But fortunately for us, we got out of there with a pretty positive end result for all of us.
Right. Well, and you talked about like a lot of the things, obviously it's head coaching experience and obviously it's lessons still you have to take as a budgeting and doing all that kind of stuff. And you talked about the budget. Like I've heard horror stories, you've heard horror stories about travel. Like, what was like, were you guys able to do overnight trips? Like, was it just like get on the bus at 4 a.m. and come back and they get like a peanut butter sandwich? Or were you like, obviously I know you're probably trying your best to take care of the kids. How stressful was that process and kind of the DFO side of things?
It was super stressful, and we tried to divide the DFO stuff up as much as possible, but we were only allotted one bus, which with staff, support crew, team, you can't fit everybody on one bus.
Right.
So the school had a van for us that we took that was interesting to say the least. Like
I've driven those vans. I drove those vans at Lake Forest. I know those vans.
I had to beg them to get the brakes redone on it. You know, I grew up a car dealer's I grew up a car dealer's kid, and we take it on the first trip, and I go to brake, and I'm like, oh man, this is not good. But, but I had to beg them to replace the brakes on it, and they did. And we had a car that we would send some coaches ahead to make sure everything was always settled for us
Hmm.
too. So we used the car. I typically drove the van on the way down with kids in it. So it was kind of a weird setup. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't just sitting on the bus and listening to music and watching
No,
movies. It was very active and engaged.
it's
And
work. Yeah.
yeah, and we managed to put the kids up in decent hotels. Like we would talk, and people were really good to us, and we would try to, if we had common areas we were going to, because we had to travel. Like we're
Yeah.
up in the Keweenaw, you you got no option. You got to go. Like the closest schools to us were 6, 7, 8 hours away. And that conference we were in, we were going to Missouri and we were going to Southern Illinois to play games. So
Right.
we we were doing our best, and we always would go out of our way to find like a small local caterer. And with it being just post COVID, I
Yeah.
think everybody was psyched to get the business. So
Right.
we had some small local people that really hooked us up and
That's
helped us
good.
out. So our kids were always fed really well. It was pizza on the way home because that was the
But
cheapest.
that's everybody. Right.
Yeah, it was cheap and easy for us, but we tried to do our best to make sure that the kids were taken care of. And I, instead of buying cleats, which I think previous staffs had done there, we bought more gear for kids. And
Right.
we didn't buy Nike, we bought Russell. Like we wanted to make sure we'd rather give them more stuff than logos. So we
Sure.
cut corners in certain ways, but I think we did a really good job of cutting the right corners, if you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
give them off brand, give them a local caterer instead of taking them to a buffet, because we know they're not going to throw us a deal they don't care.
Right.
Like we did little things like that, and you got super creative. And I found out that the kids love the little local caterers. So if I'm lucky enough to have another head job again, like I'm not going to hesitate using local people, because
No.
they cook real good food for our kids. And it's instead of buffets. So the amount of buffets I've eaten at over the years, man,
Yeah.
I don't ever need to do it again. And we catered it in, and yeah, it was me and the other coaches dishing the food up for the kids. But man, I felt like we had good connections with the kids that we had there, and I think
Right.
we did the right things as best we could.
It's right. It's a little bit more family oriented because you're doing everything together. Um, which and again, like you said at the beginning, like I wish for you that you guys could have had a year three and a year four because I think you really would have um you would have opened a lot of eyes and won some of those games that you were close to winning in year two. Um, that it's just it's always the what if. We as coaches, we always live in the what if sometimes, and that's the unfortunate side when it's taken from you and you're not able to you
Yeah,
have nothing to do with it.
I think we played in something like 6 or 7 one-score games in those 2 years.
Yeah,
It was pretty wild. We had chances to put games away, and young kids,
right,
they weren't ready for the moment. And it's cool to know, like, we had a freshman in 2022. He'll end up being a 3-year starter here at Northern for us at nose tackle.
right.
and
That's
and
awesome.
he's a leader. He's a leader on our defensive line now, and it's cool to see the growth. And I had 2 guys that graduated that played all 4 years with me, 2 at Finlandia and 2 here, and one of them is my GA now. You met
Right,
Isaac at the camp the other day. Like, it's just the relationships you said, the family stuff that we built with those guys. And I think it gives me a good perspective that when we have more resources, I'm not gonna you know change and remove that personal aspect. Like I learned how important the personal aspect and staying close to people is, and
right.
I can see it firsthand that it's paying off for us here in the long run for sure.
Right. Well, and that was my next question, and you talked about it with the coaches, and you just kind of alluded to it with a few players. How many of those 80 went on to play college football? Like, how many of those guys did you Like obviously the guys at Northern Michigan you helped out. Were there any others that went and played, D3 football in Michigan or anywhere, the states they're from or
There was
um
probably close to 30
okay.
that I know of that went to rosters and played. There's a good amount of them still playing and playing
Okay.
legitimate football. I know one of our offensive linemen transferred to Lakeland, and I know he's doing a good job for them. We have, I mean, we have guys that are kind of all over the place.
Right.
The biggest one is our nose tackle when he transferred and came with us. Like we knew he was different, like 600-pound squatter, 470-pound bencher. Like he's a
Right.
he's a different kind of kid, and he's really worked hard to improve his athleticism. So I mean, he's done a really good job for us and really improved and done good things. But I mean, we had a good amount of guys leave. I still have a kid reach out every now and then asking him if I can help him or if I know of anybody looking or if we have any spots. And
Sure.
unfortunately, we're kind of hamstring. We don't have a massive roster like some other smaller schools do. So it's just you do your best for them. But I think in the end, 6 or 7 came over here
Okay.
in the transition, which helped us too. So it was good. I mean, it was really good. I think one of the other ones is one of our student coaches. Well, he finishes his degree right now too. So I've kept a good handful of them around me and stayed in touch with a good amount of them as well.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, it's again, but it's part of that's part of the family, right? And I know you as a recruiter, like you're a relationship recruiter, so it's you're when these guys leave, you're not just like bye, you're keeping tabs on them, I'm sure, and making sure that they're taken care of and getting their education as best as they can. So,
Oh, for
um,
sure.
yeah, it's not just, close the door and piss on you. It's not anything like that. Um, would you, this is a hypothetical. Would you go to a school like obviously you're very happy where you are. Would you go to a school with those questions surrounding them again? Like would you go to one of those kind of spots? Because I've like we said, there's unfortunately a lot of them now. And
Yep.
it's not just D3s. There's D2s, there's D1s, there's FCS schools that are always talking about getting rid of football. Is that kind of a fear you have in the back of your mind now as you look through these things that come up every year?
Yeah. Yes and no. Um, I'm definitely more cautious and I think I know the questions next time around when it's time for me to do that. I know the questions
Right.
to ask. I'm obviously very happy where I'm at and recruiting, and I recruit in Wisconsin. Like I couldn't be happier. I get to go have dinners with one of my favorite podcasters every time I'm down there. So, but no, it's you definitely you put a guard up and you gain a wall from it.
Yeah.
I was kind of shell shocked at first with it because it was when I say it was bad, it was bad. Like it was cutting budgets and everybody's panicking and we got to
Yeah.
get numbers and we got to. So I think there's a lot of questions I will ask in the future of places and just make sure we're not in a Finland. And Finlandia is extreme, right?
Right.
It was extreme end of crazy, but I think I've learned a lot about what to ask, what to look for,
Hmm.
what is somebody really telling me when they answer questions too. I
Yeah.
think that's something, and every coach needs. I think they need to have that in the back of their head because, like, I got I got in a situation that was really difficult, and like I said, there's a lot of really good people there and had a lot of really good experiences. But it, in a perfect world, would I want to be in that situation? Absolutely freaking not. Like
Right.
that was rough, but I think in the end, it's going to be beneficial to me as a coach, and I think I can share my knowledge with like, hey, don't do that. Like there's been a couple guys that have called me about places, and I'm like, man, ask this question. What do you think?
Right.
Make sure. And sometimes you say, who do you got to ask too? And I tell like ask everybody the same questions. And if you're not getting similar or the same answers from everybody, ask more questions because
Right.
not everybody's on the same page, and that's the number one source of oh no.
Right. Did and backtracking a little bit, when you were interviewing for that job, did you have any inkling of the downfall, or was it kind of like you said, you were sort of just, I don't want to say green to it, but it was your blinders were on a little bit.
I had reservations before I took it.
Okay.
I went back and forth when I interviewed. They offered me the job before I left the school, and we had negotiations that we were making. I was in Duluth at the time, so I was driving back home at obviously to Duluth from the Hancock area is 4 hours.
Hmm.
So I had 4 hours to hem and haw over everything that I saw. And then I got home and I had to hem and haw with Jill
Right.
over everything I saw. And there was greenness to it where I was like, I can fix it. I can do
Sure.
it.
Sure.
And I was young. Like I was 30, 5 years old. So I thought I had the world by the you know what's and I could do whatever I wanted and I could get it done and I was gonna force my will on it. And
Right.
I know now sitting here 39 going into another year, it's like, no, you can't fix everything and you can't do it. But I mean, I had a chance to be a very young head coach and I thought I could do it and I thought I could fix it. And I'm that kind of person with my recruiting and my attitude. I'm like, I can do it. Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
Right.
And so, yeah, there was a little bit of like greenness to it, but there was reservation. There was things that I noticed. There was things that came up when you Googled it, and there was administration there when I was interviewing and in that process that ended up not being there either before I got there or shortly after.
Right.
And those administrators that were there were headed on like they had it figured out, they had a plan. So that was a little bit reassuring to me. But it just in the end it ended up being a factor of just the perfect storm of mess that
Right.
there's nothing I could do and did everything I could and thankful that I had that opportunity to be a head coach. But again, I super way more reserved with my decision making from here on
Yeah.
out.
Well, that's part of us as coaches. I think we all think we can fix something. Um, we all think we have the idea. We all
This
think we know
the
what we're
savior
doing.
complex. We all have the savior complex. I can
Right.
fix it. I can do it. I can make it right. And
Right.
at the end of the day, it's not. And I don't want some young guy to listen to this and be like, oh, and be completely jaded to it because like I still think I can go into any situation and make it and do it and fix it and be okay with it and
Yeah.
get work my way out of it. But it's just I'm a little bit more I don't know wise to it now. I'm a little
Sure.
bit more like my process will be a little bit more different than it was in the past.
No, that makes perfect sense. And again, there's like you said too, sometimes you get the perfect storm where you can't like no matter how much you paddle, you're gonna sink and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's just the negative side of things.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, last question I got, and I'm gonna give you a different one. So last time I had you on, I had you give me the Mount Rushmore of offensive linemen. So
Okay.
since you were a defensive lineman and are now coaching the defensive line, who's your four-man Mount Rushmore of defensive linemen from guys you played with, guys you've coached, or guys you're a fan of? Who you get the first official defensive line Mount
Okay.
Rushmore.
Played with, coached, or a fan of. I'm gonna try to pull from each of those.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Um, Played with, I will go. Oh man, I'm gonna go over four just to let you know
That's fine. It's
because
fine.
I played with some really damn good ones.
Yeah.
When I was at Augustana, I played with a guy named Craig Bosch. So he was we could do defensive tackle and defensive end too. So
Hey, this is my podcast. You're my guest, and I love you, so you can do whatever you want.
he was a three technique that I played next to when I was at Augustana.
Hmm.
The most explosive interior guy I've ever played with. Like tough, got off the ball, like was an all NCC. And if you remember the NCC, that was South Dakota, North Dakota, like
Oh
all
yeah.
those teams that went D1. That's what we played in back then. And he was a really good player. I mean, at Whitewater, Ryan Grizovich was defensive player of the year in 2007 when we won the national championship.
Like in the nation?
Yeah,
Oh
16
wow.
sacks. He had 16 sacks or something like that.
Oh
Like
wow.
it was ridiculous. And he scored two defensive touchdowns in back-to-back games.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
dude was an animal. So like I was pretty lucky with the guys I played with. Guys I've coached with and here we're on a Finlandia focus. I mean Blaze Winter was my D line coach at Finlandia, which how I pulled that off to this
Yeah.
day, I don't know. Like maybe I do got a little bit of negotiation and people skills here, but Blaze played in the NFL for 11 years, was drafted in the second round, and was
Yeah.
the AFC Rookie of the Year for the Colts in '84, I believe, and then went on and played for the Packers, and then had a couple stints with the Chargers, and like was in a played a Super Bowl with the Chargers. Like the guy was his resume was massive. At one point was the D line coach for UCF for George O'Leary. If we're talking D line guys, George O'Leary, another just D line mecca that worked his way up through the career. And so like Blaze is on there for me just because like guy's like a brother to me. A fantastic human. And then players. I mean, I grew up in Appleton, like it's half hour south of Green Bay is Reggie White. Like
Right.
if I didn't say Reggie White, it would be stupid of me. Like I
You
would, I
could you wouldn't be able to come back to Wisconsin.
no, I'd be in trouble. Like it,
Right.
especially in the age I am and the era I grew up in. If I didn't pick him, I'd get my ass whooped,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
But I mean, I could say Reggie White, Sean Jones, Santana Dotson, Gilbert Brown, John Yurkovic. Like I can rip off all the guys who played on that D line in that same era. And then, I mean, from another player perspective, take a modern player that I really like was Watt. And he's another like I'm being a homer and picking the
No, no,
Wisconsin
but that's
guys.
okay.
But and I'm talking older Watt, like JJ Watt, because he
Yeah.
could play inside, he could play outside. He wasn't just a pass rusher. He did the whole damn thing. So
Former Central Michigan tight end JJ Watt.
yeah,
Right?
oh
Yeah.
no, yeah, for sure. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking defensive player of the year, 3-time Houston Texan JJ Watt.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not talking Arizona Cardinal JJ Watt. That was
Oh gosh,
that
no.
was that was victory tour in his retirement era,
Yeah.
JJ Watt. But I mean, those guys are all incredible. Like it's players I watched growing up in Reggie, and a player that I watched when I was already a coach in JJ Watt, and then
Yeah.
obviously Blaze had an incredible career, and his story in itself is amazing. And then those two guys that I played with that I mentioned. I mean, I'm a pretty lucky guy from the defensive line stuff I've been around, and
Right.
I moved back to the defensive line, and coordinating from the D line is a little bit of a weird change for me, but I liked it. So I
Yeah.
get to just yell at the back end guys when stuff goes wrong. I don't got to go try to fix it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just
So
get to dial up fun blitzes and stunts and say just cover everybody. We'll get to the quarterback, you cover them, and we'll be
yep,
fine.
yep,
That's it.
exactly.
Yeah. All right, well, Coach, I'm gonna get you out of here. Do me a favor for all the listeners, drop your Twitter handle, and any other information you need them to know.
Yeah, at Coach DuFrane. I'm not really original there with my Twitter handle. Yeah, and really, I recruit in Wisconsin, and I think we've done a good job the last few years at Northern is getting some really high quality kids out of that area, and we
Hmm.
just want to keep doing that. So, but
Yeah,
feel free, any coaches that want to reach out and talk and all that sort of stuff. I love it. I got a week and a half off yet here, so kind of starting to get antsy and get itchy before we go back and get to the real work.
yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Enjoy your vacation because I know, like you said, it's gonna be a grind here pretty soon. But thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you always, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Hold on. Can't. Damn it. There we go.
See, now you're